إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب, we spoke about Ahl Sunnah being the Ummatul Wasat, the middle nation. Okay, Shaykhul Islam said Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the middle nation, regarding the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, between which two groups? Okay, so Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, in the middle nation between which two groups regarding companions? So you got two groups, two extremes regarding companions, Ahl Sunnah in the middle path. Which two groups go two extremes? Give me one of them.
Starts with A, is it?
Huh?
Does it start with A?
I can't hear you.
Does it start with A, letter A?
Whichever group we spoke about. Last we spoke about, you need to have your note and revise your note. Do you remember?
One would be the Rafid.
Rafidah. So what happened with Rafidah? What extreme did they go?
They cursed the Sahaba.
Okay, Rafidah they curse, but here mostly they talk about, what is it?
They exaggerate.
Exaggerate. You're right, they do curse companions, but we're going to go to the next firqa, the group. That's what they do. So Rafidah, one of the major problems is that they, as much as they do curse companions, Rafidah, we're talking about the other side of it, is that they make khulu in Sahaba. Who are which group Sahabas?
The ones from Ahlul Bayt.
Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt, people of the house. Ali, the family, Fatima, they raise them to the level of they call on them. Okay? Who was the first person to call Ali as Ilah? Which group is that? The worse than Rafidah. Do you remember? Do you listen to it? Or?
Was it the Jew, Abdullah ibn Sabah?
Yeah, Jew. So Saba'iyya basically. They follow Abdullah Sabah. He's the one who came up with the Yadu Billah. They're like Rafidah, but he's worse than that. Rafidah. Tayyib. So this is one extreme of Rafidah. They make khulu in the companion Ahlul Bayt. And who was the next group? Another extreme.
The Khawarij.
The Khawarij, what do they do?
They made takfir on all of us.
Yeah, they made takfir on the companions. See the extremes of those two firqa. Tayyib, Ahl Sunnah is the Ummatul Wasat in this. How are the Ummatul Wasat? Middle path. How they take middle between those two?
Because they're not extreme.
Yes, so what will that be?
Less is, I don't know how to say it.
Okay, so how would you put that in the middle?
They're like,
The companions.
They don't do ifrat and tafrit. They
Okay,
don't curse and they don't
So okay, that's good. So we don't become the Khawarij, they curse the companions, yadu billah. We love the companions, and we do not become the Rafidah where they make khulu in the companions. They raise them to be someone, yadu billah. Tayyib. So Rafidah and Khawarij. Khawarij, Rafidah. Okay, why they call Rafidah? Do you remember? Rafidah.
There was a group of people that approached, I think it was Zayd bin Ali, and he praised Abu Bakr and Umar. And there was a group that committed Rafid, they rejected his statement, that's why they became Rafid, and the other group, they were the Zaydiyah.
So Zayd bin Ali, he's the one who called him Rafidah. And who is Zaydi?
They're not like,
Yeah,
they're not kuffar, but they follow Zayd bin Ali, and they agree with him.
They agree with him, they attribute themselves to Zayd. So that's Rafidah. Okay, Khawarij, why is it called Khawarij? They do khuruj. Well, there are many attributes there. One of the reasons they call Khawarij, the khuruj of the Prophet, khuruj against the rulers. What else? What are the reasons they call Khawarij? No?
Because they deem the blood of the Muslims to be permissible.
Permissible. Also, they take people out of fold of Islam because of major sins. Things like that. What other names the Khawarij have?
The Haruriyah.
Hururiyah.
Yeah.
That's one. Any more?
The Takfiris.
The Mariqa. Mariq, Yamruq, yani they pass, hadith says, Khawarij, يمرق من الإسلام كما يمرق سهم من الرمي. They will leave Islam the way the arrow leaves the prey. Leave. Mariq, to go through, penetrate through, go through. So they call Mariq as well. They call Rafida, Khawarij. They call Hururiya. They call Nasiba as well. What they call Nasiba?
You talk about the Nawasib.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they had hatred towards Ali and Ahlul Bayt.
Yeah, so they have hatred for the Sahabas. So that's how Ahl Sunnah, middle path between those two firqa. Quickly, how is Ahl Sunnah firqatun ummatul wasat between the Murjiya and the Khawarij and Mu'tazila? In what aspect they are ummatul wasat? Do you remember?
The Murji'a, they believe that Iman actions aren't part of Iman.
Okay.
So we, Ahlul Sunnah, they believe that actions are part of Iman.
Okay. And who are the Wa'idiyah? Those who, we spoke about the text in the Quran, Wa'id and Wa'ad, praise and threat. So the Murji'ah, they worship Allah based upon Wa'ad, the promise of Allah. Do whatever you want to do, Allah will forgive you. And the Wa'idiyah are the Khawarij and the Mu'tazila. They worship Allah based upon fear. Okay, so Ahl Sunnah are middle between those two firqa. We say we worship Allah between hope and fear. Having hope and fear. Naam. طيب, we covered all this, alhamdulillah. Let's continue. طيب. فصل. وقد دخل فيما ذكرناه من الإيمان بالله الإيمان بما أخبر الله به في كتابه وتواتر عن رسوله وأجمع عليه سلف الأمة من أنه سبحانه فوق سماواته على عرشه علي على خلقه وهو سبحانه معهم أينما كانوا يعلم ما هم عاملون. وقد دخل فيما ذكرنا, that which mean we have mentioned previously regarding Iman Billah. What did Shaykhul Islam said at the beginning, right at the beginning when we spoke about Iman Billah? He said, Al-Iman Billah, Al-Iman bima wasafa Allah bi nafsahu fi kitabi wa bima wasafa bihi rasuluhu, that having Iman in Allah, belief in Allah Azza wa Jal, is to have Iman in what Allah described Himself in the Quran, what the Prophet described in the Sunnah. That's part of Iman Billah. And we covered all that. So to the beginning of the book, we covered every ayat, a lot of ayat, verses that relate to the sifat of Allah, attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. Then the second part is the hadith of Prophet ﷺ that relate to the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. And now, what the Salaf have said, the Kalam, the speech of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, on different attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the three stages, Quran, Sunnah, and the Aqwal Salaf of Ummah, the statement of the Salaf, what they said have regarding the sifat of Allah Azza wa Jal. So then he says, Annahu subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Allah Azza wa Jal, above the seventh heaven, okay, and He, glory be to Him, He's with everyone wherever they are, and He's aware of the people, what they do. So let's talk about this. One of the things that he's talking about here is that Shaykhul Islam. So now he's just talking about Allah being above the throne. We covered ayat from the Quran and the Sunnah regarding Allah being above the throne. And we have mentioned that it is part of our Aqeedah to believe Allah is above the throne, and to believe that Allah is everywhere is major kufr, and we don't pray behind such people to hold such belief. طيب. So Allah Azza wa Jal is above the seventh. He's above the seventh heaven, and there are many verses regarding that Allah being above the heaven. Allah said, "هو الذي خلق السماوات في الأرض ثم استوى على العرش." That He created the heaven and earth in 6 days. Then He rose above the throne. Then at the end of the verse He said, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. He is with you wherever you are. So in this ayah, Allah has combined two things. That He rose above the throne. Allah is above the throne. Okay. And then He says, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. He is with you wherever you are. So two things he mentioned. Above the throne, at the same time, he is with you wherever you are. طيب. When it comes to ma'iyya of Allah, Allah being with us, we covered it. The three types. Ma'iyya am. And here, Allah being with everyone is general thing. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. He is with you wherever you are. That refers to every human being, that Allah is with them. That's general for everyone. And the second type of ma'iyya is that khas, that Allah is with the believers. As Allah said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ مُحْسِنُونَ. That Allah is with those who have taqwa and those who are muhsin. So that shows that Allah specifically for the believers, with the believers. And this ma'iyya, Allah being with the believers, is with help and support and aid. Okay? And there's a khas, ala khas, specific of a specific. Allah is specifically with certain group of people, like the Anbiya. Okay? لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Allah is talking about Abu Bakr, Prophet and Abu Bakr in the Kahf. Okay? Also another verse we have, when Allah sent Musa and Harun to Fir'aun, Allah said to them, لا تخافا إنني معكما أسمع وأرى. Do not fear, I am with you. إنني معكما أسمع وأرى. I am with you, both of you, Musa and Harun. How? أسمع وأرى. I hear and I see. So shows that Allah being with us is through the attributes, hearing and seeing, knowledge. That's what it is. طيب. Also, which we can learn from this is that ma'iyya in Arabic language, has many meaning to it. Sometimes what it means, it could mean that the person is physically with you. Ma'iyya means with physically. So if I say ma'i sadiqi, ana ma'i sadiqi, I have with me my friend. Okay, so that means that physically he's with me, next to me, sitting, we're talking. Also, that's one meaning. Ma'i also can mean something with you but not in front of you. So in this case, I can give you example. For example, Allah said, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu attaqullah wa kunu ma'a sadiqin. Or those who fear Allah, or those who believe, be among, fear Allah and be with those who are truthful one. So here ma'iyya, being with the truthful one, doesn't mean physically walking with them. What it means is that follow the attributes, be like them in truthfulness. طيب. So many examples we can give. So it's not necessarily we have to believe that Allah is with us, He's physically with us. So Allah is above the throne, okay? And at the same time He's with us, okay? And we have to understand the important part of Aqeedah, and that He's with us, His knowledge and hearing, His aid, His support. And Shaykhul Islam give example with the sun as well. We'll cover this. طيب. So here Shaykhul Islam bring ayah from the Quran, that He is the one who created heaven and the earth in 6 days, and He rose above the throne, and He is still with you. He's still with you. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. طيب. Shaykhul Islam says, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَنَّهُ مُخْتَلِطٌ بِالْخَلْقِ. Okay? Okay, he said, وَلَيْسَ مَعْنَا قَوْلُهُ وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَنَّهُ مُخْتَلِطٌ بِالْخَلْقِ فَإِنَّ هَذَا لَا تُوجِبُ اللُّغَةِ. So, Shaykhul Islam says that when we talk about He's with you, it doesn't mean that He's mixed with the creation, and that is not right in the Arabic language. It doesn't mean that he's mixed with the creation. فَإِنَّهُ لَا تُوجِبُ اللُّغَةِ. The lugha doesn't make sense. The lugha doesn't, you won't not find this in Arabic language, because we just gave some of the example. Ma'iyya can mean, physically can mean He's not with you, but somewhere else. So someone can say, Ma'i sayyarati. I have my car. With me I have a car. But it doesn't mean physically next to me. It's in the car park. Understand? So Arabic language teaches us that ma'a doesn't always mean that something is physically next to you. طيب? So thus we covered that one. Allah being above the throne, at the same time He's with us. طيب. وخلاف ما أجمع عليه سلف الأمة خلاف ما فطر الله عليه خلق. Okay, so basically, not to believe that Allah is not above the throne, that He's mixed with the creation, that this is against the deen of Allah, is against the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal, because this is something Allah has created us in a fitrah that teaches that Allah is above the throne. بل قمر آية من آيات الله من أصغر مخلوقاته. Now, moon is one of the signs of Allah, okay, from a lot of his signs. Okay, sun and the moon are the signs of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, now if he says وَهُوَ مَوْضُعٌ فِي السَّمَاءِ, that it is situated in the heaven, وَهُوَ مَعَ الْمُسَافِرِ وَغَيْرُ مُسَافِرِ أَيْنَمَا كَانَ. So if you look at the sun now, the moon, or even the sun, let's take example with the sun, because when the sun comes out, sun is in the heaven, yeah, and when it comes out, the sun is with the person wherever he goes. So if the sun is out, he's traveling to Birmingham or I don't know, Manchester, Newcastle, whatever, the sun is still with the person. Like the Arab says that sirna wa ma'na shams. Okay, sirna wa ma'na shams. That we travel and the sun is with us. What it means is that the heat of the sun is with us. Okay, physically sitting next to you. No, but this is Arabic Fusha. This is how Arabic. This is Fusha Arabic. Okay, it doesn't. That's what it is, and people to understand the lugha. So from this, Shaykhul Islam give example. If this is the creation of Allah, He's with you wherever you are. The heat of the sun. What about Allah, the creator of this heaven and the earth? طيب. وهو سبحانه فوق عرشه رقيب على خلقه مهيمن عليهم مطلع عليهم إلى غير من معاني الربوبية. So Shaykhul Islam says, in the case of Allah, He's above the arsh and He's still with us. Okay? رقيب على خلقه, and then he says that He is aware of everyone. Okay? He's aware of everyone. مهيمن عليهم, He is master of everyone and He's aware of everyone. Okay? He knows what we're saying, what we're doing. Allah is aware of us. Okay? This is rububiyyah of Allah Azza wa Jal. He's the Lord of the heaven and earth. So when we say Allah is Lord, that's what it is. That's what it is, my brothers. Tayyib. So this is very important that we understand how Allah is above the throne and being with us at the same time. It's very important to understand that it's through His attributes. Through His attributes. Naam. طيب. وكل هذا الكلام الذي ذكره الله من أنه فوق العرش وأنه معنا حق على حقيقته. So all these things we have mentioned, that Allah is above His throne and is with us, is something reality, meaning that Allah above the throne is physically above the throne. Okay? High above the throne. So we don't need to distort these ayat and try and give another meaning to it, like istawa means istawla, things like that. We shouldn't distort this ayat. This is really what it means. Allah above the throne, that's what it means. It doesn't mean anything else. Okay? That's what Shaykh is saying now. Then his Shaykh says that وَلَكِنْ يُصَانُ عَنِ الظَّنُّونِ الْكَاذِبَةِ. So, but also we have to guard ourselves from those people who have bad suspicious. Dhannun, dhann here means, the dhann has many meanings in the Quran. I've just reading about it, and dhann come in the Quran, many different meanings. One of the meaning of dhann is yaqeen. If you look in the dictionary, what dhann mean can mean suspicious, or mean belief, or I think. But dhann comes in the Quran, one of the meaning is yaqeen. الَّذِينَ يَظُنُّونَ أَنَّهُمْ مُلَاقُو رَبِّهِمْ. As for those who believe that they will meet their Lord. Okay? يَظُنُّونَ. So ulama say يَظُنُّونَ يَتَيَقَّنُونَ. يَقَّنُونَ, they are certain. Okay? ظَنْ here means yaqeen. Also, ظَنْ means kadhib, lie. Allah says أَيَّتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنْ. That they follow nothing except ظَنْ, which means a lie. طيب. Also, dhan can come in the meaning of knowledge. Okay? Allah said in the Quran, إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٌ حِسَابِيَهْ. That indeed I have come to realize, know that I will meet my reckoning. Okay? So, dhan here means ilm, knowledge, come to know. That's Imam Tabari said as well. So, dhan has many meanings. Here the Shaykh says dhan here means يتخيل, يتوهم, that he imagined things in his mind, about Allah Azza wa Jalla, certain wa yadu billah. So we guard ourselves for such type of imagination or such type of belief that people hold about Allah Azza wa Jalla. We protect ourselves from this. We don't take these beliefs from the lie. So here Shaykh says that in the saying statement of Allah Azza wa Jalla, fis sama. Okay? So someone might read this fis sama, in heaven. So yadhunnuna kadhiba. He might think, imagine, wrong, lie, fabrication. Fis sama. So Allah is in heaven. So that means Allah is getting shade. Okay, yadhu billah. So Shaykh said, anna sama tudhilluhu wa tuqilluhu. The sama, heaven, are giving shade to Allah, and the something holding the heaven up. A'udhu billah. Okay, so it's like Allah need help or something. So sometimes a jahil, a person ignorant, he might think fis sama, in the heaven. So does it mean Allah is in the heaven? That means Allah is getting shade. Okay, he's getting shade, and the heaven been lifted, protected by another other type of tree. Allah doesn't need all that. So wrong suspicions, wrong belief, wrong imagination, and person can have. وَهَذَا بَاطِلٌ بِإِجْمَاعِ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ. And this is false. It's consensus of the ulama, and it's against the belief. Allah created all that, and Allah in Surah, in Ayat al-Kursi, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Okay, His kursi expands the heaven and the earth. What Shaykh is bringing this? Why is he bringing this? To say that Allah created all these. The greatest creation of Allah is Arsh, and Allah is bigger than that. Allah is greater than that. Allah is above all that. Why would Allah need help for His Arsh to be lifted, to be protected or carried, or Allah needs shade? Yadu billah. Okay? Yumsiku samawati wal ard. He will fold the heaven and the earth. Allah will fold the heaven and the earth, and He will say, Ana Malik, Ana al-Muluk, samawati wal ard. Where are the kings of the heaven and the earth? What are they? So, shows that Allah's, the power of Allah, the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, for people to imagine something like Allah, that Allah needs shade and all that, yadu billah, undermining Allah Azza wa Jal, His qudra, His ability. So, here, fi sama. The word sama means something high. So, when you say sama, heaven, where is heaven? High. So the word mean high. Sama mean high. طيب. Also the word fi also mean, there's a reminder for that, us is that fihi sama doesn't mean in the heaven, even above the heaven. When the hadith of the Jariyah, when the Prophet asked the lady, the Jariyah, the slave girl, Prophet said to her, Ayn Allah? Qalat fi sama. When Prophet said to her, where is Allah? She said, fi sama. What does fi here mean? Above the heaven. So fi comes above, doesn't mean inside. Also, what we learn is that Allah is above the heaven. Also, many ayah in the Quran, fasihu fil ard or fasiru fil ard. Walk on earth, not in earth. Okay? These evidences to establish that fi doesn't mean in always. Okay? Otherwise, if you don't have this ayah in our mind, then we're not able to explain to the people. So fi mean above, something above. Yeah. So it's obvious. People might think fi mean in. So Allah is in the heaven. No, doesn't mean that. So we don't need to distort any of these attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. The verses that relate to Allah's attributes, we don't distort them. That's what in haqiqatan, that's what it means. In reality, that's what it means. Yeah. Okay, let's continue inshallah. وقد دخل في ذلك الإيمان بأنه قريب مجيب كما جمع بين ذلك في قوله تعالى وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان. So here Shaykhul Islam says, and we have entered in في ذلك mean that we've covered Allah being above the throne. Now we're going to, at the same time, we're going to cover the Allah being close to us. Okay? Now, وَقَدْ دَخَلَ فِي ذَلِكَ الْإِيمَانِ, and in it include, in Iman, that Allah is Qareeb Mujib. So Iman belief include that Allah is close and He responds to a dua. Part of our Aqeedah. طيب? Obviously, when we talk about Iman has 6 pillars, isn't it? It has 6 pillars, and but there's a hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, when Prophet said in the hadith, that al-iman bid'un wa sab'un shu'bah أو bid'un wa sittun shu'bah فأعلاها قول لا إله إلا الله والأدنى إماتة الأعداء عن الطريق والحياة من شعبة الإيمان. From this hadith we take Iman has three fundamental principles. The Imam Nawawi also mentioned in Sahih Muslim that belief, statement and action of the limb. How is this hadith include all that? So Prophet said that Iman has 70 branches, or 60 branches, or 70 branches or 60 branches. Okay? Highest to say La ilaha illallah, statement. أفضل هو قول لا إله إلا الله والأدنى إماتة الأذى عن الطريق. The least to remove something from the road. Removing something from the road, Prophet said is Iman. So shows Iman is part of action. And Haya min shu'batil Iman. Haya is sign of Iman or part of Iman, which is from the heart. Haya, shamefulness. Shameful is part of our Iman, having shameless in the heart. The Prophet reprimanded a man when he said to his son, "What are you shy for? Why are you being shy?" Prophet told him off, don't tell your son not to be shy. Shy is something virtue to have. Haya is something that we should have. Every prophet came there except they taught the ummah about haya. So haya is part of Iman from the heart. So this hadith includes 3 stages of Iman. Also continue with that. We know Iman, 6 pillars of Iman, yeah? We know the 6 pillars of Iman, inshallah. These are pillars. We have to have faith in them. But we understand also, a whole deen is Iman. Okay? You know, this hadith in Bukhari, that it is 70 branches or 60 branches. The ulama says, aw 60, aw here mean all 60 branches. The narrator of the hadith wasn't sure. Did Prophet say 70 or 60? What is bid'un? Bid'un is a number between 3 and 9. So, bid'un wa sab'un. What does it mean? 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. We know which one it is. But could be any of those. So, Iman could be 73, 75, 73, 77, or could be 62, or 63, 64, 65, 62, 68, 69. Any of them. So, it's huge. Now here, Prophet mentioned the numbers. Okay? So, one of the sheikhs says that Ibn Hajar, rahimahullah, in Fathul Bari, he actually named all of them. So he said, not 6 pillars of Iman, he said, Bidul Walidain, keeping the tie-ship, smiling at your brother. You know, all these are part of Iman. These are all part of Iman. Okay? Honoring your guest. Okay? Speaking good. You know, these are all, everything part of Iman. The ulama says that Prophet ﷺ did not specify these 67 or 73, 74, 75, whatever the number is. He did not specify it. They say that Prophet left it ibham. He left it open like this for you to find out what they are. Like Ibn Hajar was counting it. Look for it, study your deen, come to conclusion, make tadabbur of the hadith. And you find out, brothers, Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Muhammad, Muzakkir, all of you find out what are these 70 branches of Iman is. Study the hadith. You come to it. You make it simbat, you derive it. Like Ibn Hajar did in Fathul Bari. So Prophet left it like this for us to find out what they are, look for it. And secondly, he left it like this, so you strive your hard to achieve these things. So if Prophet said, these are the branches of Iman specifically, you might probably just do those one. Like, for Prophet ﷺ, he never said when is Laylatul Qadr. He never said it. Okay? He left it open. Okay? Could be any odd night. Okay? So we don't know if it's 23rd, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, 29th. You can't say it. Salaf have said it, 27th night. There was a hint, but he never said 27th night is Laylatul Qadr. He left it open. Why? I want you to strive hard. This odd night, last night of Ramadan, work hard and you might fall into it. Okay? And in hikmah, why did he say it? Because if he said 27th night, probably just people go to 27th night. Just worship Allah on that night. But no, in the hikmah, he left it. I want you to worship Allah in last 10 days of night. You don't know where in the Laylatul Qadr. If it could be 25th, could be any time. So here, these 70 branches of Iman, or 60 branches of Iman, bid'un, remember, is 3 to 9. So it could be 73, 74, 70, anything. So this is a great number. That's one of the opinions scholars said. Some said it's more than that. This is just a number to show that the branches of Iman is so many. Shu'bul Iman, Bayhaqi. Yeah, Bayhaqi has huge shu'bul iman, the branches of iman. It's not one volume, it's 10 volumes, and he all about iman, branches of iman. Imam al-Bayhaqi has a whole book on it. Not one book, whole volume. So it's vast. Okay? So second group of scholars says, no, it's not 73, 71, 75. This is just a number, but they're huge. There's so many. There's so many categories of iman. Tayyib? So that's one of the hadith. So Shaykh says that we have entered these branches of iman. Okay? Entered that iman is to believe that Allah is Qareeb al-Mujib. Part of iman as well. We are the believers, we have to believe Allah is close to us and He is the one respond to the dua. We don't say Allah is far away. Okay? One hadith, إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَقْرَبُ مِنْ أَحَدِكُمْ مِنْ عُنُقِ رَاحِلَتِهِ, that indeed Allah is close to you than one of your, from the neck of your riding beast. You know when you go to riding beast, what is the closest thing? The neck, isn't it? Is there. Allah is more closer to you than that. طيب? So we don't deny Allah being close to us, Qareeb. Okay? And because it's Qareeb, He respond to a dua. And that's part of our Aqeedah, Iman, to believe that. And to deny Allah being Qareeb is kufr. It's kufr, yeah. كما جمع بين ذلك في قوله تعالى, and the evidence for that is that when you وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, ay Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, O Muhammad, when my slave asks you about me, okay, say to them, فَإِنِّي قَرِيب, I'm close to you. I'm close to them. يعني I listen to them. I can see them. I can hear them. Okay? I respond to their dua when they make dua to me. That's close. Allah being close to us. طيب? This is the hadith. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَهُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَى أَحَدِكُم مِّنْ عُنُقِ رَاحِلَتِهِ. That hadith, we covered this hadith when we spoke about closeness of Allah. When we spoke about the chapter, on the chapter that indeed Allah, as those who invoke Allah, He is close to one of you than the neck of your riding beast. Okay? Allah is more close to you than the very neck of your riding beast. He's more close to us. So we covered that, what is Iman. Part of Iman is Qareeb or Mujib. Okay? It's part of our Aqeedah, part of our Iman. وما ذكر في الكتاب والسنة من قربه ومعيته لا ينافي ما ذكر من علوه وفوقيته. So look at this, subhanAllah. Whatever is mentioned in the book and the sunnah regarding Allah being close and with us, okay, close and with us. We covered the ayah, didn't we? One of the ayah, هو الأول والآخر والظاهر. Okay? هو الأول والآخر ظاهر والباطن. These two names of Allah, Zahir, that He is above the throne. Okay? Batin, something He's close to you. So He's above the throne, at the same time He's close to us. These two names indicate to that. That's what it means. Yeah. So the Shaykhul Islam says that whatever is mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah regarding Allah being close to us and being with us, it does not negate the fact He is above the throne, okay, above the seventh throne. Okay? So we covered this. Allah is with us, okay, at the same time He is above the throne. فإن سبحانه وتعالى ليس كمثله شيء في جميع نعوته وهو علي في دنوه قريب في علوه. That Allah Azza wa Jal, glory be to Him, nothing like Allah Azza wa Jal, nothing like Him in His essence, in His names, in His attributes, in anything, in His actions, in His beauty, nothing like Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah is perfect in His essence, in nu'uti, in His essence. So Shaykhul Islam says that وَهُوَ عَلِيٌّ فِي دُنُوِهِ, that He is above the throne, at the same time He's close to us. And He's close to us, at the same time He's above the throne. Okay? عَلِيٌّ فِي دُنُوِهِ قَرِيبٌ فِي عُلُوِهِ. I like this, the way Shaykhul Islam said. It's amazing. So this is part of our Aqeedah, to believe that. Okay? And when we say Allah is close to us, He's close to us. We need His attributes, knowledge, hearing, seeing, qudra, all that. وَقَدْ دَخَلَ فِي ذَلِكَ, we have entered in that, meaning Allah being above the throne and being close to us at the same time. Okay? The Iman, we covered what Iman is, alhamdulillah. The Iman is vast. So we have pillar of Iman, But then at the same time, we have the hadith, bid'un wa sab'una shu'ba. This is another part of, shows that Islam, whole Islam is iman. Okay, everything is iman. طيب إن شاء الله جزاكم الله خير. I think that should be enough. Next we will continue. إخوة. Any question inshallah to clarify? I'll clarify now.
You said there's 60 to 70 or 79 branches of Iman. In that regard, would any kind of adab be included in that?
Yeah. We'll cover the adab. It's coming into the book. End of this book, Shaykhul Islam talks about adab. Okay? So this is a good question. Is adab part of Iman? Yes, it's part of Iman. Because it falls under the hadith, bid'un sab'una shu'ba. Everything, the Sharia of Allah is Iman, part of Iman. And if you be amazed, the hadith about adab. When Prophet was asked, يا رسول من أحب الخلق إلى الله قال أحبهم أحب إلى الله حسن الخلق, the one most beloved to Allah was good character. Okay. Also the hadith, Prophet was asked that, Ya Rasulullah, what are the things that will take person to the Jannah? He said, taqwa wa husn khuluq, the taqwa, the piety, and good adab. Okay. The numerous hadith talks about good adab. Allahu Akbar. Hadith said that husn khuluq, it makes a person beautiful, and except if you remove it, it makes a person ugly. Okay. Another hadith, Prophet said that. He said that أكمل المؤمن إيمانا وأحسن خلقا. What makes a person a complete believer is the iman. That's what makes a person completely iman. And what makes him beautiful is adab. What it means is that someone can be a believer, but he's got disgusting character. Okay, the husn khuluq is not there. So he's not beautified. His adab, hasn't beautified him. Even though he's a Muslim, he's a believer, but his adab did not beautify him. At the same time, if he just have adab, but he doesn't have no iman, he's not complete, even though he's got good character. We need both. We need to have both, inshallah. So what makes a person complete is the iman, true iman. What beautifies a person is adab. Subhanallah. So that's why you have hadith. When Aisha was asked, what is the khuluq Rasulullah? Khuluq Rasulullah. He said, khuluquhu al-Quran, that his adab is the Quran. طيب. So adab is part of our iman, part of aqeedah. Because Shaykhul Islam says that in one of his statements that أهل السنة أعلم الناس بالحق وأحسن الناس بالخلق. And he said that the Ahl Sunnah are the most knowledgeable regarding the truth, and they're most beautiful in the character towards other people. So we need to have both iman and husnul khulq, good adab. Yeah, it's part of our iman. Yeah, no doubt. Any more? Khalas? Gone.
Can we recap? You know before, what was Rafid and Khawarij again?
Rawafid.
Yeah, Rawat.
Rawafid is, Shia, they're different level of Shia. You have Zaydi, they're the least dangerous one. They follow Zayd bin Ali, bin Hussein bin Ali, bin Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. Okay? Zaydi. Then you have Shia, then you have Rafida, okay? And then you have, these are Ghulat, extreme one. And top of them is Saba'iyya. Abdullah bin Saba is a Yahudi from Yemen. He's the one called Ali to be ilah. Okay? So, Saba'iyya is from Rafida, time of Rafida. So, these are extreme ones, they are not Muslims. Rafida and Saba'iyya are not Muslims. So, Rafida we explain, isn't it? They're the one who rejected. Rafida from the word Rafada, to reject. So, Zayd bin Ali called those people Antum Rafida. You are Rafida because he rejected what I have said. What did he say? He said, Abu Bakr and Umar, he praised them. They are my granddad, they're the scholars of the companions, the great scholars, they're great leaders. So they rejected Zayd, then say رفضتموني فأنتم رافضة. You rejected me, so you are rejectors. Rafida means rejectors. Yeah, that's what he means. He came from that incident. He gave them that name Rafida, Rafada. Yeah. And the Khawarij, from the word kharaja, kharij, they go out, revolt against the rulers, and they take people out of fold of Islam, those who commit major sins. So every firqa, they've given the name for a reason. Jahmiyyah, they follow where the Jahm bin Safwan. Ash'ara, they follow Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari. Tayyib, so every Qadariyah, because they deny the Qadar. So they have a reason why they call that name. Jabariyah, they believe you're forced to do things like that. Kullabiyah, they follow Kullabiyah, this person called Kullab, yeah. So, Hakada. So that's what Rafida is, yeah. Yeah. خلاص؟ جزاكم الله خير.